So, good evening, everyone. Welcome to our team training. We host this every Tuesday night at 8 o'clock for half an hour. And we really try and give the topics that you can use straight away that are very practical in building your business. So we're always focusing on our high-paying activities. And the number one skill that I focus on with brand new team, because other skills can come later down the track, but the number one skill that we want you to feel really confident, really empowered on learning is how to tell your story. Okay, so you'll hear us say this all the time in Juice Plus. We are master storytellers. We're paid storytellers. Okay, so what I mean by that, I'm just going to pin myself here. What I mean by that is all day, every day, we have conversations out in life. We have them with the guy who delivered my shopping tonight, my hairdresser yesterday, my eyebrow lady, a few days before. We do Juice Plus as we do life. So it's something that's very important for brand new people to know, is that you're not going to ever probably get, it sounds like wishful thinking, but you're probably not going to get 3 or 4 hours of a big chunk to do Juice Plus. Okay, so relax, you don't need to. This business is about stolen moments and doing Juice Plus as you do life, because we get paid to talk and have conversations. Yeah. So tonight's focus is, how do we deliver a story that helps us connect, that helps us create trust and rapport, and that helps us make an impact? We want one that's going to be effective. So then the next part of our exchange with someone, of telling our story, is for them to give us more permission to say, tell me more, or ask another question, or get in an answer. To me, I like to think of when I'm engaging with someone about Juice Plus, it's a relationship. I'm engaging with them first as a person. I'm curious. I'm getting curious. I've got a detective hat on. And I might ask questions like, is this what you always wanted to be doing? And tell me, how did you get into that? And, is that what you dreamed of? And if you could be doing anything, what would it be? And if I could show you a way, would you? So if I would you is a very clever bridging statement. If I could show you a way that with your stolen moments in just a few hours a week, that we could create an income that may allow you to actually really start doing that and dust that dream off, would that be of interest? So if I would you is very powerful. So with our story, this is the first thing that I train on, and it's the most important thing. Before you know more about the products, before you know about our company, before you know kind of about the fast track and how the business works and all that stuff, the number one thing that we want to empower you with is how to talk authentically. Is very important. Authentically, and bring up Juice Plus, the product and or the business, just out and about, without sounding like a robot and that you've got a script and feeling awkward and, oh my God, now what do I say? And feeling like dead in your head. We want to help you just go into that heart space and know and trust. The most powerful thing about me teaching you the story and how to uncover your best version is that no one can take argument with your story. It is by far the most powerful and fastest way to connect with someone. You will never mess it up when it's your truth. No one will ever take argument with it. So if, for example, I was to go on about the Juice Plus products and where they're made and the peer-reviewed medical journals and all that kind of stuff, if someone wants to take argument with that, they just might. Well, they might be tempted to. But what you'll hear as we play back and forth with a few of us here tonight, when it's your story, you feel it. You feel it first, and then you begin to process and start thinking. And naturally, everyone is asking 2 questions in any engagement. It's happening subconsciously all the time. When you're talking with people tomorrow, go have a look, go think about this. But it is, do I like this person? Do I trust them? Can they help me? Do I like this person? Do I trust them? Can they help me? So if we can give a big tick to those three things, either consciously or unconsciously, we're going to make a really great, solid connection with this person very quickly. So it's called The Speed of Trust. There's a really great book called The Speed of Trust by Stephen Covey, I think it is. I think it's his son. It's pretty bland, but it's got some great info in it. So I love psychology, so I love knowing what people are thinking and how I can use that to really help them, get leverage. So when I'm telling a story, there's 4 parts, okay, to any good story. So if you think about the biggest Hollywood blockbuster, there's the main character, and then there's a problem, there's a challenge, there's a pain. Something's happening in their life, and they've been given this challenge. And then we watch them go through this, and they're either going to grow, they have to come up with something different, they have to find a new way, or else they're going to get in more pain. Yeah? And then as they move through that, what did they learn? Who did they become? And then it's the hero part, the triumph or the love run or whatever it is. Okay? So all great scripts are designed around this. We can use this information when we're telling our story in 30 seconds. Okay? It's kind of called our elevator speech. If you've got 10 or 15 seconds when someone says, "What do?" You want to know what to say and not stumble. Okay, you want it right there in your back pocket. And how you get good at anything is what? It's practicing, right? It's just like when you ride a bike. It's uncomfortable, it's annoying, you have a tantrum and you crash in the bushes and you kick the bike, but then you get up and you see lots of other people doing it. You know you can, and you practice, and then suddenly you can ride a bike for the rest of your life, right? That's what we want to help you. You just wire it in your nervous system so your story's there like that. Now, my story changed and it got way better over time. So now I feel very confident if I've got 30 seconds, 10 seconds, or 5 minutes to tell my story, I know all the versions. I'm not expecting that from you right now because a lot of you are brand new and going, "Oh my God, I'm already nervous." But literally, this is from your heart. The first part is this. So I call it the plot, which is actually apt for what we're talking about, the plot. Sometimes I definitely lose the plot, but it's just like the big Hollywood movie, right? First of all, we start with the pain, okay? So if we look at it like this, people, and it was just like the question that I had at the start of our conversation tonight, how do we convince someone to do something? And my answer is, honestly, if they're not looking to change, I don't really bother. There are so many people out there looking to make changes. I'm much better devoting my time and effort with them who are ready to change. They've got 2 hands up. They want to participate in their own rescue, is what we say, or they're looking to make changes. So number 1 is we're going to attract people who right now something is missing in their life. And if you think about yourself, you may have stumbled across Juice Plus, but honestly, if we get really dirt honest, the reason that you handed over a credit card to start a franchise, there's a hope or a dream, no matter how small, that this could be something. Would you agree? There's something there, right? So what we want to do is really kind of tap into that. What is it? And what was life like when you first discovered Juice Plus, and why were you open to having a go at this? What is that little dream? So if I look at it, my pain that I was having, because I saw Juice Plus for 9 months before I really took it seriously. And it was only when there was enough pain of saying no to so many things, feeling financially fearful, never seeing my husband, feeling overwhelmed, feeling like there was no time, feeling like all of our life decisions were suddenly disappearing. That was the pain. So I actually really got started for $300 a month. I believed and I saw proof that I could do this business and create an extra $300 a month to come into our house. That was going to make a huge difference to me. So that was enough to get me to start this and give it a go. So what I want you to start thinking about, you already are, what what was life like before you found Juice Plus the business? Whether this is 6 months ago, 6 years ago, whatever it is, or 6 hours ago. Maybe you are brand spanking new. There's a reason that you handed over a credit card. We want to know it. Okay? Even if you can't describe it in one sentence yet, I want you to put down some thoughts, please, on what are you hoping for more in life. Okay? Now, the L, I'm just going to go through this framework really quick. The L is, what have you learned? What have you learned so far? Maybe the lesson is that I don't want the default life, or I don't want to end up like my dad, or I don't want to be a mum who puts her kids in daycare all day, every day. Maybe the lesson is, if it's to be, it's up to me. I can't rely on my husband's company anymore. I can't keep investing this much into my other business with no return. So there's a lesson that's going with the pain, right? There's a lesson in there. And this is then what leads you to the opportunity that we have with Juice Plus. What's the opportunity that you see? Is it mum care? Is it bringing your husband home? Is it contribution? Is it a plan B? Is it expanding your reach globally? Is it passive income, actually getting that elusive dream, being paid on the beach? Whatever the opportunity that you can see in this, there's something that you saw and heard that flicked a switch on, if they can do it, I can do it. You probably heard someone else's story, right? And it reached you, and it was powerful and impactful, and it set off wheels in your mind that maybe you too could do this. That's the power of this. Then T stands for triumph. What's the triumph? This is the part where, the character has grown and now it all comes back together again. We know they're going to be good. They're going to be okay. What's the triumph? Maybe you don't quite have the triumph yet, but maybe it's enough to be surrounded by lots of other people who already see your triumph. Maybe it's enough that you're already just putting one step in the right direction and taking back control of your time and your money and your effort. Does that make sense? So I'll tell you, mine just going through this was, I had worked in the corporate world and my health took a massive toll. I had earned a really great income, but I was very unfulfilled. I definitely had the science of achievement down pat, but the art of fulfillment, I did not feel passionate and jumping out of bed and making a difference every day. And I yearned for both. I wanted to be someone who was jumping out of bed with a mission and a purpose. And my opportunity when I first saw Juice Plus, it was at a time in life when I had stopped dreaming altogether, and I was very much in the default life, exactly where I said I'd never be. 3 kids under 3.5, husband working 6 days a week. We were saying no to so many things. And my friend asked me in a great moment, well, what if this could be a way for you to start dreaming again? What if you could start to travel again? What if you could combine a passion of helping people and your interest in health and really start helping other people do that, working with women like you want? So the opportunity that I saw was starting to dream more about what if. And the triumph is, now just 4 years down the track, we're pinching ourselves because we've been able to take many of our dream trips. We have been able to buy 3 investment properties. We've been able to purchase our dream home. We're now impacting so many families, globally. I do jump out of bed, I need very little sleep because I'm so excited about what we have happening, and I feel like the best is yet to come. I feel like we're just getting started. That's my story. That's it. So you can see it doesn't need to be in this exact, robotic thing, but this is giving you you've got to start with the part that's vulnerable and maybe a bit embarrassing. Maybe it's something that you've not shared really freely and openly. But here's what I'll tell you, that vulnerability, when you share that openly with someone from your heart, what do people feel compelled to do? They feel like sharing a vulnerability back, right? They'll open up. Even if you say, you know what, even on a good day, like we really value like eating great at my house, but honestly, even on a good day, we were not eating 10 different fruits and veggies. I was kind of eating the same things every day. When I share a vulnerability like that, people will often go, oh yeah, no way. But if I say to them, do you know you need 10 to 13 servings? That's what the World Health Organization says. Do you eat enough? They're going to go, oh yeah, we eat loads. Does it make sense? So it's very different when we're in a conversation and we're sharing a vulnerability. So what I want to do is just do some coaching around our events, which, as you know, is our lifeblood. And what do we feature every single week? It's stories. We do a little bit of info because people want that. But the impact of our events is, it's the guy with Crohn's who shared that. It's the woman with the bag of medicine that she no longer takes. It's the lady with the autoimmune. They don't remember all of the other details. They remember the big highlights. Does that make sense? So it doesn't have to be groundbreaking. It doesn't have to be, I grew an arm back, with Juice Plus. It can be, you know what? I was kind of zombie and foggy, and it wasn't until I just started eating well and sleeping well that I had no idea how good I was supposed to feel. It just can be that simple, yeah? So what I thought we would do is just talk about when you're being asked to share your story. We're always going to coach you from the front of the room. If that's, up near a whiteboard, or maybe it's on Zoom like this, just trust, take a deep breath. Something that helps me, a trigger, is I put my hand literally on my heart, and there's a great power in that. People get that I am being real. Would you agree? So whether I'm doing that on a phone or a connection call, I'm getting in here and I'll say, I believe, or I feel, since I've been, taking Juice Plus, like I had a pretty good diet. It made sense to me. I run at a high level. I wanted the edge. And since I started taking it, it just made immediate impact just in the first 2 weeks. I was up folding laundry late at night. Because honestly, I know it's weird, but that's my truth. I can rock it every time because I can say it with full conviction. It doesn't matter what I say, it matters how I say it. So people aren't there going, I really want to fold laundry late at night. Yeah, I want Juice Plus so I can fold laundry. What they're going to get from me is how I feel when I'm saying it. Like, couldn't believe it. I was so excited. I had extra energy, 10 o'clock at night, to just go around and start cleaning. Whereas usually I was just polished on the couch, done by 8:30. So people resonate with that, right? So when we ask you kind of stand and deliver, this is what we mean. And the shorter, the better. I know sometimes we can get nervous and we can kind of tell our life story, right? We've all been there, and that's cool. But what we want to coach you on is keeping it short and sharp, talking about what you do, who you are right now. Are you a mum? Are you a service manager? Are you a personal trainer? Are you an engineer? Just even in the lounge room here this week, one of the best parts about our events is the incredible diversity that we have, right? We've got Pilates instructors and chiropractors and, we've got checkout chicks, and we've got, full-time managers, and we've got stay-at-home mums and cleaners, and we've got everyone in between. And the more examples that we hold up, the more that people go, if he can do it, I can do it. If she can do it, I can do it. Oh my God, if he can do it, I can do it. So that's the most powerful thing that we have. So our business is not about what works. Our business is about what duplicates. So we want everyone believing that this is so easy. You get up, you say your story, and it builds everyone else's belief. So the first thing we ask you is, so tell us, why did you start taking Juice Plus? And what have you noticed since? Simple, right? So that's our coaching lead in to help you keep focused on what it is. So is it coming together for you guys at the moment? kind of trying to read your faces here, but let's interact a little, because I know Mel, even Mel Ella, you've been working a lot at crafting your story and fixing, refining over the years too. Can you just take us through, if I take you, I know I'm putting you on the spot, but we're always growing. But Mel, you know, if I ask you, you know, so we're going to do both product and business. Okay, now here's a tip before I digress and get distracted. I once learnt from Gretchen Comstock, an amazing NMD, who was out here years ago, and she was talking about sharing your story. And it just hit me like a ton of bricks. It was so simple and obvious, but I just hadn't thought of it. I was so focused on my product story. I was never sharing a business story. I didn't know how. I didn't know it was relevant, but I was very focused on product. And she said to all of us at the training that when we share our business story, the product story is automatically part of it. Would you agree? Because they're going to say, what's the product? What is Juice Plus? If you're talking about your Juice Plus business, of course they're going to get around to asking about the Juice Plus product. Does it make sense? But if we just talk about our product, we're only leaving one door. They can only come through the product door. And if they say, I'm not interested in making a change to my health, often the door closes. Does that make sense? So if we are opening both doors and doing that, you know, threading it through gracefully and with ease, it's amazing how many want both straight away or are interested in both. Does this make sense? So Mel, can you play with me for a second? If I say, so Mel, you know, I'd love you to share your product story. Tell me, you know, what first attracted you to start taking Juice Plus, and what have you noticed? I know you've been taking it for a while. What have you noticed for you and your family?
Okay, so I first started taking Juice Plus about 2.5 years ago. I've always been interested in health and nutrition, but I knew that I probably wasn't getting what I needed out of my diet. I was a mum with 2 really young kids. I was studying at uni. I was really busy, and I never had energy. I'd be, you know, dead by 3 o'clock, and I'd be propping myself up with chocolate and biscuits or anything that I could to kind of get through until the kids had gone to bed, and then there was propping up with more sugar to keep going until I actually felt like going to bed. I guess what I noticed after taking it and sort of after all this time is that definitely my health has improved. My diet has changed. I don't crave any of that sweet stuff anymore. I don't even feel like chocolate anymore, which is weird. I very rarely get sick. Hair, skin and nails. I used to always have sort of cystic acne across my cheeks there, and always get pimples through the month, and I don't get that anymore. Both my kids are, in the 2.5 years we've been taking it, I think both my kids collectively have had 6 days off school and preschool, and my daughter goes to a community preschool where there's, you know, all sorts of kids and germs and diseases and whatever going around. So that's massive for me, because I'm the kind of person who doesn't like to have a day off. So it means that they can still go to school and I get stuff done.
Sensational. And right there, that's the perfect thing. Did you notice when Mel went kind of from her head of, oh my God, I've been put on the spot, what do I say? And then she went into autopilot. Did everyone feel it and notice it? And, you know, she's telling us about her skin and my kids, and that's massive for me because this and this and this. The minute that she said massive, it didn't matter what she was saying. And if I was looking for that, it's how she's saying it. Would you agree? So there's a moment there. And pausing is very important. It's very hard. I know. It's very hard. So something that you know, just to me be a little bit cheeky and help you here is imagine me with I'm little Linda here on your shoulder, and I've got my giant hand coming around going, and stop. Because often when we're new, when we're excited, when we're nervous, we just keep going. And then the person feels like, whoa, hang on, I'm trying to process the first thing that you said, and now it's too much. Okay, so it's one of the dangerous things about us being super excited and enthusiastic. We want to kind of rein it in a little. Okay, so that was awesome, Mel. So if I ask you really short and sharp about your business story, like to share on an event, I would say, so Mel, what attracted you to the Juice Plus business? I know you're a raving fan of the product. You know, what's really made sense to you about the business, and what has it allowed you to do so far in your life?
Okay. Initially with the business, I kind of had no idea what I was getting into, but I was attracted to, I guess, the mission and spreading, kind of spreading the word about Juice Plus. I saw its value and its importance, so I wanted to be able to share that with other people. I guess what it's helped me achieve is, as a single mum, I've been able to kind of still manage to go and see all my kids' different events. So I'm able to stay home and be a mum with my kids. Even today, like, I was able to work from home and sit in the sun and, you know, just kind of live a life that I guess most people don't get to live. I've been able to, you know, travel a lot, which is something that I really love doing. And I guess most single mums wouldn't get to do that as well. And it's setting me up for a future with my kids where I can travel with my kids and take my kids on great holidays and do that sort of thing on my own.
Awesome. So if we were to go back and capture that and kind of take a minute and make it 10 seconds, we'd hit 2 or 3 big points. I was a single mum. It's hard enough without financial fear. I wanted to be here for my kids and I didn't want to worry about money. I was passionately sharing Juice Plus already to whoever would listen because it just made such a dramatic difference to my health. And now, honestly, I live the life of my dreams. I'm out in the sun. I'm working around stolen moments, and I'm here for every magic moment with my kids. And I am so grateful for my business for that. So that 10 seconds, what we do is we get the 1, 2, 3, 4 highlights, bang. And you just keep practicing. And I've been watching every single week that you're sharing this, Mel. It's on point, on point. We're always fixing and refining. I'm still fixing and refining. The day that we think we rock our story and we've got nothing else to learn is not a good day, right? Because we're always learning and fixing and refining. And you want to play with this. If I'm talking to a 20-year-old male PT, I'm not talking to him about being a mum. But I'm talking to him about getting the edge and passive income. And I always dreamed of being paid while I sleep and traveling around the world and doing whatever I want, when I want, with who I want. Does any of that sound like you, young guy? That's all he wants to do. Does that make sense? And when I started, of course, I wasn't thinking of all these different people and what's going to attract them. But I've improved because why? Because all day, every day, I'm sharing my story. So the only way we get good is by just being massively abundant, sharing your story. So Kate, can you, thanks Mel, that was awesome. I'm sure everyone got so much out of that. That was really, really great. Kate, I'm gonna flick to you and take you off mute. So can you share with us your product story, what you think, what you've fixed and refined over time of sharing it most days, of what you have found as the impact that kind of people resonate with?
That's your story.
I did one the other night.
Okay, I think you might have accidentally unmuted someone else as well.
Go ahead. I just muted everyone. I can hear you. So Kate, you know, can you tell us what attracted you to start taking Juice Plus, and what have you and your family noticed since you have incorporated it?
So when I first heard about Juice Plus, it made complete sense to me because I've always been really passionate about health. But what I found was, even though I was teaching it, I wasn't always living what I was teaching, and getting caught up with 3 little ones at the time, 3 under 5, trying to run businesses and run all around, I found I wasn't just taking care of myself and living true to my values. So knowing that I could take it every day and just that I was bridging the gap from where I actually was each day to where I wanted to be was just such peace of mind and just assurance that my family was getting everything that we needed. And even though I think on most people's standards I would eat quite well, the difference that I noticed in my energy, in my skin, my hair and my nails, I was really surprised. I wasn't expecting anything really to when I first started taking it. So over time, just seeing that continue to build, and then with the people that I've been able to share the product with as well, it's been amazing.
Awesome. So that was fantastic. It came flowing out, and we saw that very moment where Kate went into autopilot as well, right? And you guys kind of getting a feel now that you're sort of observing this and the breakdown and the format of this. She talked about the pain of, you know what, I got a lot of kids and I'm very busy. How many people do you think relate to that? Just being busy, right? And on the go. And I know what I should do, but the reality is different. How many people relate to that? Yeah. And then she wasn't expecting any great things to happen. But wow, wasn't she pleasantly surprised? And she packed in 4 things that a lot of people want to improve: energy, hair, skin, and nails. I was so surprised by that so early on, the difference that was making. So that's just a strong and concise product story. The one thing, and Kate was going to, I heard her almost do it because she will often do this really well, is then start to tell, you don't just have to tell your story. We're paid storytellers. You collect stories and you take them in your heart, and that builds your belief. You're a storyteller. So Kate could then go on to say, our close friend who's, you know, been so challenged with an autoimmune disease for so long, it's dramatically changed her life. One of our other friends, you know, who Anthony grew up with, Crohn's disease, he's off all these medications, and she could do 2 or 3 others that really bring this home. So, and then it starts people thinking about, wow, it can actually help health conditions. You know, duh, yeah, it's fruit and veggies, right? But people mightn't necessarily be thinking of that. So my story improved when I started adding on there that, oh, you know, I talk about my skin, that I used to have so much pain and embarrassment around monthly breakouts and the acne scars that I was getting because of that. I had a whole bag of concealers. I would never go out without makeup, and that's really painful. And my migraines, they were terrifying. I would still get those just randomly out of the blue. And I did not feel in control of my health at all. And it dramatically helped that in my first 2 to 3 months, not only energy levels. And the thing that I love is just sharing something so simple. My dad, his arthritis, that he, at his worst stage, had to give up playing guitar and golf because he just couldn't handle both of those. To see him get back to his 2 passions in life is still amazing to me, of his quality of life and coming off his arthritis drugs. My brother's dermatitis, my sister's irritable bowel. I mean, the list just goes on, and that's just my family. So my story becomes way more powerful in the back when I'm just sharing about my mum, my dad, my sister, or you. Maybe you don't know all of us, but you can hear Kate's story. You can hear Trent's story. This is why our testimonials are important, because we say, you know what, I'm just really impressed. I was prompted to reach out to you because I just heard a story about this today, and wow, I thought, what if it could help you too? Does it make sense? So that's a very powerful thing to be able to do. So with the last, I'm running over time, but with the last bit, I just want to is there someone who would love help to do a very, very quick breakdown of theirs, to take theirs from long to, because I want to workshop this. I want you guys to leave tonight. I'm committed to staying on at least for the next 10 to 15 minutes. I want you to identify 1 P, 1 or 2 Ps, 1 L, 1 O, and 1 T. Okay? Anyone? Janice. Okay, awesome. Pin video. Hi, Janice. So thanks for playing with me. So tell me, would you like, well, let's do both. Tell me, when you first handed over a credit card for Juice Plus, what got you?
Okay. I was taken by the product to start with. I attended an event and I listened to people's stories, and I knew that this product was going to be able to help me. It was something I was searching for because I
change
my health.
So if there was one thing in your health that you wanted to change, what would that be?
It was an inflammatory condition that I had.
Inflammatory condition. Great.
Yep. And it certainly has helped me there.
And what's been the pain of having the inflammatory condition? What does that cost you in life so far?
It cost me a lot of pain in my fingers because it was in my fingers. A lot of pain financially when it came to prescription drugs that I had to take. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
And what about your outlook some days? Because I know how pain got to me and affected everything. What else did it cost you?
Oh, yeah, it cost me as far as, like, you know, getting down on myself about it and not being able to exercise. You know, I started at the gym and then found that I had to stop there because of the inflammatory condition I was having in my hands.
And did you feel in control of your health?
No, not at that time. Even though I know that I ate healthy, like I would be eating steamed veggies and chicken, and I know I ate healthy. Plus I prefer not to eat gluten, so I don't have that in my diet as well. So, yeah, pretty health conscious about what I ate.
That's a very important part of the story because you're very proud of that and you have a lot of conviction in that part too. Are you guys feeling and seeing, and hopefully you're workshopping this with me, because this is what you're going to do with your team. You're going to do it with yourself. You're going to do it with the team. Here's why. This is the most important skill, and it's the only skill that you need to be successful in this business. This is why I want you to dig deep right now and play and practice and watch the recording back and back. I've got awesome notes here. I don't know if you can see me. I've got awesome notes here. As Janice she went out of her head, she just started spilling, right? Because I asked her, does anyone remember my questions? What did that cost you? What was life like? What were the consequences? Pain. So she started talking about physical pain, but then I dug deeper. I peeled back another layer, and then she told me about the financial pain. And then she couldn't even go to the gym. She wanted to do the right thing, and she would start, and then she'd have to stop again, which is very demoralizing. It's very depressing, and she did not feel in control of her health. Do we relate to and resonate with that pain? Even if we're not in that condition, do we still relate to her? We do, right? It's a very powerful thing that she's telling us. So I would start off then by saying, you know, I first heard about Juice Plus from a friend, and I was always on the lookout for anything that could help my condition.
I actually heard from Juice Plus from my personal trainer, from Lorian a year ago, who was my personal trainer, but I had to stop seeing him due to financial reasons.
Oh, right. Okay, so there's another thing. So that's the business story. Let's keep the business story separate, but I'll show you how to combine as well. The first one, so we're going into the product story here right now. To keep it sharp and short for the 10 seconds, you know, I first heard about Juice Plus. It made sense to me because I know the power of fruit and veggies. I was doing a great job, but I heard some amazing stories that gave me hope that this could help me too.
Very true.
I suffered for so many years with an inflammatory condition, so much pain. I was depressed. I was on so many prescription drugs, and I felt powerless. All of that is true, right? I mean, they're words that you actually gave.
Yep.
Since I've been taking Juice Plus, and this is where you want to start going, okay, what if this could help me? I heard stories that gave me hope. that this too could help me. What do we now know? What's the status? Has Juice Plus helped you?
Yes. I've been taking it now for 2 months, and I no longer need any prescription drugs.
Wow. Can everyone give a ooh, ooh? That's massive, guys. That's
I don't have that inflammatory condition now, and I'm exercising. And the bonus part of it, there was no weight loss intended, just my health. But the bonus part about it is I've lost an inch off my waist, butt, and thighs as well.
And right there, snap, is your product story. How good was that? She went out of the head into the heart, and she had a bonus round for us. Amazing. Did everyone feel the joy come back into the story? No prescription drugs. I'm back exercising. She changed her physiology and how she said it. And then she gave us a bonus round. I wasn't even intending weight loss, but oh my God, I've even measured bums and thighs and waists, right? And I know you're very proud of that, and that shines through. So my question is, how many of you, there's 40 of us still on the line, thank you. How many of you resonate or start thinking about other people that may also benefit from Juice Plus? Are you feeling sold to? Are you feeling like she's trying to convince us or get us to do something that we don't want or need? That's the power of our story. This is where you can sit so certain and comfortable and safe in your story. No one's going to go to Janice, that's crap. I don't believe you. Right? That would be absurd, because it's authentically Janice and it's beautiful. Well done, Janice. So packaging that together, I was in so much pain physically and financially with my health condition. I was looking for anything. I'd tried so much for so many years. My friend told me about it. I heard a few stories. I was skeptical, but I was still always in hope that something could help me. And I thought, what if this is it? And you know what? In just 2 months, it's dramatically changed my life. I feel like I've got my life back again. I'm exercising. I'm off the drugs. And I'm so passionate about this because I finally feel like there's, a financial future for me to be out of the financial pain as well. And then, makes sense? That's the important part. Little Linda here going, okay?
Okay.
Do you feel a little clearer, Janice?
Yes, thank you.
Awesome.
Yes.
Sometimes it's just voicing it with someone and practicing. So
Absolutely.
I'd love for you guys to play with each other, whether you're sideline, upline, downline, whatever. I want you to play and practice. It would be so cool if you get an accountability buddy to do this with. And the other thing that I thought could bring this to life for us is I'll go into Team Spirit and I'm going to put up this and I'll put up the recording, and then I'm going to ask you, because you get out what you put in. So if you put in a really great effort now and dig deep to be vulnerable and get your plot, I would love to hear it in the comment section. Product and business, or one or the other, whatever you're comfortable with, but this is how you're going to learn and take this on and get it in your nervous system. This is riding a bike, remember? The more you do it, the better you'll be, the more concise, the more impactful. So what we want to know is, I'll put it in Team Spirit to respect your time here. What attracted you? What have you noticed? And, what's the future? What's exciting now? Why are you happy about this now? Okay. So I've gone well over time, as I often do, but hopefully this has been valuable. And we get to play with this over the next few days, because really it is the skill. If you have not one other skill, this is the skill that can really, really build you an incredible business that can really create the life of your dreams. So let's get really confident and excited and empowered on not only our own rocking story, but those that are advanced. Start thinking about, okay, when I speak to the 20-year-old PT, what am I going to focus on then? When I speak to the pregnant mum, what am I going to focus on then? When I speak to the retiree, what am I going to focus on then? And start thinking about what is important in their world. Okay? So thanks, everyone. Awesome. Have a great night and see you on Facebook.